That's what you get, Patrick Thanos. Yeah, you thought I'm gonna make video yesterday? I didn't. I win. You lost. Give me my money. No, seriously, I saw this yesterday, but I was doing the live stream, as you all know, Horrors in the Dark Survival. But today we're going to talk about Dark Deception Chapter 4, more specifically, first look at the new Mama Bear and Trigger Teddy, aka level 8 of chapter 4 from Dark Deception. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so you know what, without wasting any more time, let us begin. So on Dark Deception Twitter and Glowstick Entertainment's YouTube channel's community tab, this happened yesterday. They said, and I quote, "Mama Bear has taken a break from feeding her babies." That was weird line to say, Dark Deception developers, to say thank you for giving her voice reveal video over 1 million views on YouTube. Hashtag Mama Bear, hashtag Dark Deception. Now, before we get to the original screenshot, I want you guys to focus on previous 3 screenshots that we know and have seen for Dark Deception Chapter 4 level 8, Mama Bear and Trigger Teddy. Now, the first screenshot that we ever got related to this level was this one. Now, and the first thing that you see with your own very eyes is this entrance to the cave. It's pretty dark, and I'm really hoping for a flashlight. Yes, I'm really hoping for a flashlight. Fingers crossed. One thing I wanted to say that I didn't is that this whole area, you can call it caves, underground mines, whatever you want to call it, it looks like the work has been done a lot. Like this place is in use or used to be active a lot back in the day, because the pathway that has been made and the entry and the rocks, the way they are textured, shows that this place has been in use for a long time. This entrance specifically, I didn't talk about it much. Then this leads directly to the second picture. Now, as you can see here, this is probably one of the best looking screenshots they posted. Before I used to say the third one, but now I changed my mind on this one, because this one gives us a very cool idea and concept of what are we looking at. Now, this could just be the concept art itself, but if you zoom in, you can see the orange ambience on the right side when you move forward. Now, this is a common knowledge, but if you've ever seen a movie or a film or documentaries, that's the best way to describe this, about caves and underground mines specifically, this orange-ish kind of light and ambience is nothing new. It happens all the freaking time. Firstly, because of the surroundings of the mines and underground caves, but at the same time, the light that reflects around it kind of lights up the area. So this shows, first things first, that this is an active thing. There is an active work that used to happen in the past. Now, this is important because I will connect this with the story itself. Now, let's move to the third and final screenshot, which is the scariest one out of them all. I talked about it in the last video as well, about the radiation and how this could be one of the dangerous places in all of level 8, because this is where we would be escaping. And as you can see, all the bones and skulls, a lot of people have died here trying to escape. All the soul shards are the victims that were trying to get the ring pieces but couldn't. They died, their soul became soul shards. We know that already. But here, once they got all the soul shards, they were trying to escape, but they couldn't, and these are their remains. And it's crazy how these things are literally made from their bones, and Malik will be chasing us right here. But I feel like there will be more than just chasing and running over the bones, and this is where I talked about the last video, so you go and check that one out. And now let's take a look at the new teaser for Dark Deception. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new teaser. I know it's crazy, it's clean. It's not that clean in terms of quality, it's really low res, but forget the quality of it. Let's take a look at what are we looking at. Now, first things first, out of the bat, this is creepy. Alright, we have one light up at the ceiling. What ceiling? I'll come to that in just a second. We have wooden shafts left and right and behind as well, and then we have this scary creature standing in front of us with that creepy look and that creepy smile. That is not even a smile, that is just her facial structure is structured in a way. Yes, facial structure is structured in a way that she always smiling. What is her real look behind that smile? We don't want to know. And the fact that she's just looking at us creepily like that, I am done, ladies and gentlemen. But in all seriousness, this, ladies and gentlemen, is our first look at Chapter 4, Level 8, Mama Bear and Sugar Teddy gameplay. Now, why am I so confident in this? Because first things first, this is a low-resolution screenshot. Vincent Livings is a really smart person in terms of game development. So when it comes to these kind of stuff, he doesn't want to spoil the entire thing, but he wants to give small pieces left and right that doesn't spoil too much, but gives us enough to work with. And this is one of many reasons why Dark Deception is so successful, and this is one of many reasons why my hype for Chapter 4 is still going. Now, let's get back to the teaser itself. Remember I talked about mines, underground areas. This is where it comes in. So this cements the legacy that yes, this is underground area. Most specifically, this is related to mines. Yes, I'm moving more forward and forward to mines rather than caves. Now you see the cave, just caves aren't that much. But since we're trying to tie the story of this whole location with Doug Hauser, it makes all the sense in the world. If you look at mines, and if you look at the second screenshot that I showed you, there is so much common in both of these screenshots. Almost looks like this one, the game concept art or the gameplay location itself, is actually a real screenshot from an underground mine. The third one doesn't look that much of a real thing, so it probably is the actual gameplay section. But the second one, since you can see the screenshot, it actually happens in Unreal Engine. I'm more than inclined to believe that yes, it is a part of the gameplay. But going back to the original screenshot in it of itself, you can see Mama Bear standing right there. There is an area to the left that we can go, and maybe, just maybe, since we know she is the slowest character in all of Dark Deception, what if, listen to this one, this is a good one, she stands there. When she spots us, she sends trigger teddies, and some people are saying that they can see a trigger teddy coming out of her tummy. That is creepy. I can't say that, but if you can, do let me know. However, what if she stands there from a long distance and she sends trigger teddies, and if we are successful in avoiding them, then she comes after us? I know that sounds not that much, but if that is actually true, just imagine how scary that would be. Like, you're roaming around, she doesn't get you eventually, but she just stands there looking at you, and then there's constant threat of someone looking at you or over you or towards you, and you don't know what kind of threat they pose, what kind of threat they are going to use, what kind of move they're going to make next. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that feeling of not knowing the threat itself is what makes a good horror game. Not just game, but medium, art, whatever you want to call it, both in movies, books, and video games. And that's the thing, a man fears something that he can't understand. We are more inclined to be scared if we don't know what's gonna come in the exam tomorrow. If we know what kind of questions they're gonna give us, we wouldn't even study. But when we don't know what kind of questions they're gonna give us, we're kind of be like, oh, I'm kind of scared, what's gonna happen tomorrow? So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what connects that. So the final point I want to make before we end this video is the story element. Now, this gives me an idea that Doug Hauser had some sort of connection to the underground, or just mining in it of itself. It could be the bodies that he wanted to hide. It could be that he was the miner before he became the attorney. It could be that his family bodies, yes, family's bodies were found in the mines, or they were thrown in there, or they went from the sea all the way here. Somebody found it. Something might have happened in the story related to the mines, related to the family, related to the Doug Hauser himself. And this Mama Bear is just gonna give him the creeps, reminding him of how pathetic he was back in the day, and the threat that she will pose, we are not sure how it's gonna play out. So I am super into it. This is clearly one of many pathways within the mines, or within the underground area, or the caves, whatever you want to call it. At this point, it doesn't matter. So that was my that was my 2 cents on all of the things that are going around us. Let me know, how do you feel about this theory? I'm super confident in this, and it took me a time to come up with these sort of stuff. There are still more story related element to it, but I'm just gonna wait on that because there are many other things I want to talk about before that. So as we get more teasers, we'll talk about it. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. Do let me know your theories, thoughts down in those comments below. Help me get to 1K on Twitter, and subscribe right now to become an official member of SmackNPie. Help us get to 35K on YouTube, and I'll see you boys on the flip side.